Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's BDL44 coming at you with another video. So I just got through seeing a meme that was showing all of LeBron James's stats over the last 7 games. And I think what was most impressive to me was his field goal efficiency. Yeah, he's upwards of 57, 58 on average, and seems to be increasing. Now, his scoring, his rebounding numbers have been phenomenal as well. He's been very consistent, and passing comes naturally. Um, what what I'm seeing here is LeBron upping his efficiency to overcome the mistakes of the teammates that he has and the circumstances of us not having a center and all these different things. It's forcing him to pay very close attention to being efficient. He has to basically zero in on that aspect of his game, and being that in the first half of the season the Lakers have had you know him kind of go down with injury and things like that. He's already missed half of the season. So what he's able to do, given the fact that is the case, just is even more so impressive in and of itself. The fact that he's able to do this straight after coming off of COVID protocol and injuries. Uh, you got to take your hat off to him, but you also have to acknowledge that he's doing exactly what's necessary, and for the team to be better. Now he's going to have to continue this to keep this team afloat until Anthony Davis gets back. And when Anthony Davis gets back, we're going to have to understand that if he is playing the same way he was before he got hurt, um, then he's going to be a liability to our speed and our field goal percentages and all of that stuff if he's continuing to struggle. Now, when Anthony Davis gets back, I don't know exactly what to expect, but I do not expect him to shoot as poorly, um, at all from mid range, particularly. I don't expect that, um, and I just want to kind of hear of an update on his progression. I kind of want to know where he's at. Is he able to work out right now, or is he still in the resting stages? I haven't heard anything about his rehab or no update, and that's just very curious to me. Um, I'm wondering if the Lakers are going to trade him. Obviously, they're going to try to shop Westbrook, but I just think that the way LeBron's playing right now, it's two things going on simultaneously that kind of conflict with one another. On one hand, you're saying, okay, LeBron James is not only capable of doing this, but this is kind of what he's built to do. He's done this for 19 years straight, so you expect him to continue to play this way. But because he's been dealing with injuries, you got to expect that they will continue. Eventually, he's going to roll an ankle or get hit in the groin or something like that, and we're just going to have to understand that. Asking him to do what he's doing right now and to play the way he's playing is the wrong decision. We have to get him some help in the short term, so that he doesn't have to continue to take on the minutes that he's playing and be as efficient as he is. Now, granted, efficiency is something that he can will himself toward, as we've very well seen. But to rely upon it in order for us to be competitive, it's too much. While on one hand I'm asking him to continue to do it, on the other hand I'm asking myself why I'm asking him to continue to do this. So I just want the Lakers to kind of continue to, as we've done with the Rondo trade, process more cap space to get more help for this guy. Um, and then from there, I think we can kind of settle into him playing like this, and then scaling it back naturally, rather than him doing so and us needing him not to, because he's going to be worn out. This is barely what, January. We can't ask him to keep this up, and what we don't want him to do is peak too soon. Um, you know, so at the end of the day, yeah, LeBron James is playing amazing. Can he keep this up? Absolutely. Until the next injury hits, and that's what we need to be aware of. That's what we need to be honest about. Um, the days of him being Iron Man, that's proven to be over. So that's something we need to honor, and I think Vogel needs to um, kind of be thinking this way, in my opinion. If over the next several games, let him continue to cook. He's gonna cook. But 8, 9, 10 games from now, if he's still doing this, we're going to have to scale back some minutes. We can't just ask him to keep this up forever and ever and ever. No, absolutely not. Don't do that. Um, he's shooting great from the three. That's going to fluctuate as well. So we got to be prepared for that as well. Um, and I think that's where we kind of getting success over the last several games. We've really been shooting the three ball well. I want to see the Lakers continue to do that. Um, and the fact of the matter is, we've got some players coming back that should help us with that. Trev is going to help us with that. And speaking of Trev, he did look a little slow. I know he's just coming back, but he was doing some things that just allowed me to understand he's not quite as quick as he used to be in terms of being on top of things. I think that once he starts to get a couple games under him, he's going to get sharper naturally. And one thing that I know about Trev is he's very capable of hitting a big shot, and he's also very capable of getting deflections and things of that nature. So, even though he's what I would consider, quote unquote, to be someone who doesn't have a whole lot left or is done, so to speak, one thing I know about Trev is the things that he's naturally good at. If he's in shape, he's still going to be able to do those things in the YMCA. He's one of those guys who I think would destroy the big three later on in life. He would be able to flourish in the big three because his skill set allows for him to kind of just naturally be able to do things. He can play defense easily. He shoots threes easily. He finishes extremely well. So for him, it's just about where his conditioning is at, and then what you're asking him to do. How much are you asking him to do? But if he gets in the best shape he can get into over the next 10 games or so, I expect him to be a contributor, sort of like Melo. Maybe not consistent, but capable of hitting a big shot, capable of getting a big steal, capable of hitting good free throw percentages and things of that nature. Efficiency. Trevor Ariza has already proven himself to be a champion for us. And while he played a much bigger role back in the day, in fact, I think if we would have played him in the Celtics series, if I'm not mistaken, we didn't play him or he was hurt. I don't remember how that went. For some reason, I remember him being available and we didn't use him that year when we played the Celtics and got blown out. But nevertheless, I think if he stays on this roster, I think he's going to end up being someone that helps us at some point, whether it be a big shot in a playoff game or something. It's just Trevor is capable, that's the thing. So he looked a little rusty to me. He was moving slow, in terms of picking up plays and rhythm and stuff like that, but it's totally understandable. I think he'll get in a rhythm, and I think we'll see some good games from him. So that's what I wanted to say as well. THT is going to start playing better. I see that coming. He's starting to get his rhythm back. He's going to get healthy. He's starting to understand what he's doing wrong, and there will be, the coaches are working with him, so there will be progression at some point. I think the team is also going to start practicing more, and I think if as that starts to happen, we'll see better offensive plays, better rebounding, things of that nature, higher efficiency from some players who have been struggling, and maybe even some help in the area of turnovers, because really that's what we've been missing is guys having that cohesive, consistent practice time. So hopefully as this year starts off, we'll get that going and manage COVID protocol as it comes our way. So that's the thought, man. Just want to come up here and talk about LeBron James a little bit. He's playing some of the best basketball we've seen him playing in quite a while, and it's a shame that he just doesn't have his full pieces. It seems like everybody I don't know. It just seems like everybody that ends up being his running mate ends up hurt or not being able to make it through the season. It's just, it is what it is. It's just something that continues to happen. So hopefully AD can come back. And just like with Russell Westbrook, for me, it's more so about trying to remember who AD was before he started struggling and try to envision him becoming that player or something close to that player again. Because what I end up thinking is we trade AD and he goes somewhere and turns into a great, player for that team. It's like when you know of what Anthony Davis can do, you understand how rare he is. You just get frustrated because you don't feel like it's responsible to be promoting trading him. You know what I mean? From a basketball standpoint, it's not smart. And I'm aware of that. When I listen to myself on here and I'm like, man, I'm saying I want to trade Anthony Davis, but like I actually understand what an Anthony Davis prototype actually is. You don't get those too often. They don't have those. Don't exist. You got maybe two or three of them that I can even think of. And for him to be as efficient as he is defensively and not foul, being that long and being that capable both on the offensive end and defensive end, shooting the ball and things of that nature when he's right, being a repeated scorer who can have a high motor like he had in New Orleans. I mean, you just got to rekindle that. He has to rekindle that within himself and get in the type of shape he can get into. And if that's the case, his basketball IQ and his metrics are going to um, make him an all-star. It's not about that. It's just about how healthy he can be and how healthy he can stay. And that's on him. He has all the resources necessary to get the most out of himself. And if he's not going to be able to be efficient, then that's just what it is. Efficiency not on the basketball court, but in terms of his conditioning and staying that way, is what I'm saying. So that's what it is, man. I don't know what that entails. I always say it's usually diet with athletes. You got to eat better or change or something. I don't know, but he has to find his energy. He has to find his health, and he has to find his love for the game again. I hate to say it, but he ain't playing with a lot of passion, and maybe it's because he's in pain. Maybe it's because of the pressure, but he's got to find that. He forced his way to L.A. He got himself a championship. Now people are looking for him to beat that Laker, and we can sit up here and get mad at the fact that Russell Westbrook is turning the ball over. Get mad at LeBron James for putting together this team and all these different things. But at the end of the day, LeBron was counting on AD, and AD needs to deliver. And he's injured right now, but there are some things you can do while injured that can kind of prepare you for the rest of the season. And I think if he's doing those things, he will come back better. But if he comes back the same player he was when he left, he'll be just as disappointing as he was, and we will not win. Regardless if we make good changes with trades or not, he needs to be who he needs to be for us to win. And that's the bottom line. So, like I said, there's plenty of blame to our struggles, but the truth of the matter is we're still in the playoffs picture. We're not even out of the playoffs as bad as our team has played. So, it's on AD. I see players come back from injuries being better than they've ever been. You can see some of that stuff going on right now with some of the players coming back from injury, including LeBron James. What is AD going to do when he comes back? Is he going to be the same guy he was when he went down? Or is he going to come back with a certain level of hunger, ready to prove doubters wrong? Because if he comes back that same guy, it's not going to help us win. And there will be people like myself saying, let's get rid of him. Because at the end of the day, he can net you a hell of a return. That's the truth. And this team is lacking in assets. So I'm counting on him to deliver. Just like I'm counting on LeBron to deliver, just like I'm counting on Westbrook to deliver, counting on AD most definitely. Because if he ain't right, we ain't right. So that's my Laker rant for this evening, man. I'm not sure who the Lakers play next. I know we are in the middle of a 5-game homestand. I think it's probably Sacramento. Yeah, we played them twice in this homestand, or rather, once now and then immediately following the homestand. That would be the first game we play, Sac. So, yeah, man, it's gonna be pretty good. I think Orlando's in this mix as well, and several other teams. So, we'll get to see what the Lakers can do with the Crow. And like I said, LeBron's playing so great. I expect that to continue. Seems like his numbers are going up, so don't be surprised to see 50 at some point in the scoring, and we need that from him. We definitely need LeBron to shoot the ball well, continue to be aggressive scoring, and continue an emphasis on rebounding the ball, because that's where we're really deficient without a center on the floor. So, yeah, man, all of that is this same old stuff. You guys know what it is. This is not new convo. But I'll tell you this, I'm so happy to see Austin Reeves back. That is what really needs to happen. I mean, get that kid back in. He stabilizes a lot of things on both sides of the floor for us. You sprinkle in a little Stanley Johnson, Malik Monk shooting like this, things will be all right, man. Things will be all right. So that's what I got to say, man. Thank you guys for watching BDF 44. I'm out.